Welcome back to the show. We're here, and we're in the midst of some hot days. So
yes, it's been miserable.
you know,
90s, hundreds.
we got a little break the last couple days, but I think we're headed back to it. So
We still got August to go too.
I know, but I did want to make something for these hot days. So this one just involves boiling some water. I'm super excited. It's a great dish to utilize all sorts of veggies, no matter what you have going on. So,
And some good summer fruit.
yeah, summer fruit, and whether you've got turnips, beets, you could do pole beans. We've got fava beans because I want to show everybody how to process these.
Yeah, I saw everyone started getting those in their CSAs, and if you don't do it right,
Yeah.
they're pretty gross.
Or even if you had like zucchini, cucumbers, like it's all good with the peach, or if you had peaches, cherries, I mean, you name it. This is just a great way to kind of put together a tasty cold dish for those hot days. So, yeah, but we're going to get to it. So we are going to do favas. So I'm going to get water boiling. That is a necessity for these. If you get them really young, you could cook them whole in the pods. They're great grilled. But like once they're this, you can't do it. And what I mean young is like the pods. What is this, 3 inches probably?
Yeah.
3 inches. That's about as big as you want them. Or they're just way... They're kind of just not edible.
Well, the outsides are definitely fibrous and
Yeah.
not tasty.
So first step, what I like to do is we can pop these out here. So I just kind of,
Can you move your head?
if you get a bad one, don't eat that
How do you know it's a bad one?
because it looks bad.
Oh yeah, that's pretty terrible.
So, yeah, so we're popping them. Just kind of pop them out the side, fastest way.
You're kind of like snapping and squeezing them out.
Yeah, just going. Yeah, and if you got pole beans, cool. If you got cukes, cool. Like I said, we're gonna take all the veggies we got, or if you still have sugar snaps,
My favorite.
or some English peas.
I'm gonna be really sad to see them go. I know they're like on their last leg, and we're not gonna see them again until next year.
But English peas, you could chuck those, blanch them off for this. Yeah, I just want you guys using up all the goods.
You're snapping those things like you've done this before.
Yeah. Lots and lots of these.
So tell me about fava beans. Why are they so challenging to kind of, or like labor intensive to deal with?
Well, I mean, this is just step one.
Just getting
And-
the peas out of the pod.
And on top of them being time consuming, they are in season with cherries. Which pitting cherries is also very time
Oh, I
consuming.
know. I've already done an entire case of them this year.
So when you get them together, it's a line cook's worst nightmare.
But at least you don't really have to cook after this. You know? Like it's not like you're prepping all this and then like have to still cook a whole meal.
Oh, yeah. We're not open for service for the next 4 hours.
Well, yeah, and you don't have as many to prep for either. You're just cooking for you and me today. So
Yeah, so it's nice.
could be a lot worse.
Cool. Yeah, cucumbers, if you guys are getting the salt and peppers at some point, I wish I had one to show off, but they're really, really light green skin like this. like this light green color.
Yeah.
But if you get them in your CSA and you start seeing yellow,
You'll probably see them at the farmers markets too.
if you see yellow on them, you just have to peel them.
Yellow on the salt and pepper cucumbers?
Yeah, those skins, once they start turning, other than the light green, they get bitter.
Okay.
Same with the lemon cukes, kind of.
Sam wants to know if you have a favorite cherry pitter.
Oh, OXO.
They make a nice one.
The OXO one. That's I've only used that
Do
one.
you want to show him what it looks like?
Oh, yeah. This guy right here.
Cool.
I mean, I've seen the contraptions where there's like a hopper and you kind of, but to use those, you have to go through and stem them all first, I feel like.
Yeah, with these you can just pop the stem side down through the hole and just go with it.
Yeah.
And it's probably a lot less expensive than whatever you were just describing. I don't even know what you're talking about, but
Oh, there's contraptions where there's like, it's a puncher, but it's a whole thing.
well, yeah, and then what? You've got to try and store that in your kitchen somewhere too. For
Yeah,
the 1 month out of the year that you'll have cherries.
So, Favas. Check. Cool. I just moved into a smaller bowl, that's all. I'm waiting for water to boil.
Oh, I thought you were saving the high-sided bowl for pitting
Yeah,
the
and
cherries.
you can kind of see, like the older these get, you'll see your favas, they feel kind of fuzzy.
The outside?
The
Or
inside.
Okay.
Be like, I mean, it feels like you could make a bed out of it almost. That's what I would describe.
So
The young ones really don't get like this.
it's like fuzzy like felt or velvet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's probably too late in the season to grow these whole at this point. So,
Yeah. I think we've had enough heat at this point.
but cool. So I'm gonna pit some cherries. However much you want. I mean, we're just trying to throw this together. And honestly, if you guys wanted to do some chicken or pork or something with this dish, it'd be really good if you just needed that extra protein on it, like
Yeah.
a nice protein salad.
Yeah, just make a whole meal out of it. Be perfect.
I mean, this is going to be a whole meal for us, but
I'm okay with it.
the cheese is really good. Oh, and speaking of cheese, I said buffalo milk. This is that one you can find most readily, at least locally. It's the Buff. It's twice as much as the other one, but it is twice as good. So.
And Elliot, for wine pairing with this, I think Sancerre could be really nice. This isn't going to be crazy high acid, so it may be, depending on the balance in that one, it might be a little too acidic for it, but I think it's still got enough green notes in it that it could probably work well, especially with all of the herbs that are coming in this. I would say that, or like maybe rosé, or like a super light red, like a gamay that's like super juicy and fruity. Yeah, I think those could work. Maybe even a Viognier, like a white Viognier, would be fabulous with this too. Be creamy enough to kind of go with a little bit of that burrata. So you want to show me the cherry pitting process here?
Yeah, I mean,
What's your method?
Stem down, right in, push, and you try to keep it in the bowl, because I mean, no matter what you do, this gets kind of messy. I mean, I'm just trying to, I do recommend maybe even an apron.
Yeah, you
this.
probably should have put one of those on.
But
I've definitely made the mistake before too.
yeah, we're just gonna pit all these awesome looking black cherries, I guess. I don't know.
That reminds me, we have a Sancerre we need to drink.
And yeah, I mean, if you're doing this and you don't have a pitter, like, it's just going to take a lot longer. Because we had some cherries earlier in the season that wouldn't fit in this thing.
They were really big.
All you would do, just takes longer, but come up here with your knife. Just kind of roll the cherry. You're just like rolling it.
All right, can you?
You roll the blade around the pit, and you can kind of pull them apart like a plum. And then,
Don't throw your cherry in with the pits.
and yeah, just grab the pit out. Easier said than done. Like I said, it'll take a little while.
Usually winds up mashing the cherry.
But if you have to, you can do that.
Do you mind setting your bag off to the side so I can get some front shots of you?
What am I doing?
I'm in the splash zone over here.
You're getting hit with cherry juice?
Yeah.
Damn. What do you need me to move?
Oh, I was just asking you to move the cherries over there. You love to like build a little fortress between the camera and yourself over there. Just want to be able to get some front shots of what you're doing.
We're pitting cherries.
Your favorite thing. At least you only have a few to do.
Come on. Water's almost there.
I know, pitting cherries is always so hard too, especially the more of them that you do, because I feel like you always wind up missing a pit, even though you sat there and went through every single one of them.
We're going to cut them all in half to make sure we got them. Because I can't tell. I don't know, that looks pretty good, I think, right?
Yeah.
For the two of us. So we're just gonna go through and split them. Then I'm just throwing them in this big bowl because we're gonna toss the beets in with herbs.
Just so you know, you have a rogue fava bean over here
Where?
next to your bowl that you just put down.
Oh, nice.
It's hiding from you.
So yeah, if you have Hawkeye turnips or cukes, whatever, put them in with these, or your peaches, or and dang it.
Missed a pit?
No, just mashed it. I'm
Oh.
not using a very sharp knife.
Well, do you say a sharp knife is a chef's best friend, right?
I guess.
This is going to be such a nice meal. Very excited
Yeah, and if you
for
got
it.
some spring shallots, spring onions, slice up part of one of those, throw it in.
I feel like that's the only kind of onions and garlic that we've been using for months now.
You've got to use them while you can,
Yeah.
because then they're gone.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with the aged ones. They're definitely a little stronger in flavor than
Right.
some of their younger counterparts.
Yeah, I missed one little pit there.
It's a good way to make sure that you're not going to crunch on one later, right?
Yeah, I've seen people break teeth,
Insurance policy.
chip teeth, whatever.
Well, yeah, I imagine if you bit down hard enough on one of those, it'd probably do some damage.
Cool. All right. So if you've got turnips, you probably don't need to peel them. We're going to peel these beets.
Tell me about these crazy beets that you got, because I've been
Well,
loving these.
unfortunately, you guys won't be able to find these.
But maybe we can encourage our farmers to grow them.
But farmers just need to grow the goods. So
You want to tell me about them?
I'm going to, yes. Make everyone jealous. So these beets are from Row 7 Seed Company, which is a seed company started by a chef.
Some of you may have heard of Dan Barber at Bluestone Barns.
Yeah, Dan Barber. So he is trying to grow vegetables for flavor and for yield. These beets are special because if you hate beets, you will love these because they managed to breed them and they bred out the compound that makes the dirt flavor.
The earthy, like the red beets that have the real earthy flavor.
So it's one of these special things that exist, which makes them awesome all year round, not just in the winter.
Elliot said he heard Dan Barber invented vegetables. I think that's a pretty accurate statement. He's done a lot of work with it for sure. He's been a big player in the sustainability space and bringing back heirloom varietals and getting chefs to be kind of thinking a little bit more about sustainability and, again, the whole idea of breeding produce for flavor instead of just for the sake of putting it in something.
His book changed my life. So
What was the book?
The Third Plate.
Yeah, I've seen that book around in a lot of different places. What did you like about it so much?
It just goes, well, it really solidified like my beliefs in food, and it takes a deep dive on the importance of just proper ecosystem,
Like on the farm?
like native grasses versus trying to just grow regular wheat, because that's what caused the Dust Bowl. And
Well, conventional farming in general, yeah.
but then they go into like proper aquaculture, and it's just it talks a lot about ecosystems and like how to retain those instead of destroying them, basically.
Well, and being a chef and a consumer both, you really have a bigger say-so in how those things are done. With the more demand there is for farmers to do those things, the more they will do those things if they want to survive in their business. So, and I think a lot of that movement has kind of changed how even bigger companies are kind of functioning now too. So you vote with your dollar every time you spend it somewhere.
Yeah.
Look at those. They're gorgeous inside.
The pigment on these, I call them the gold beets of red beets.
Yeah.
The color is insane.
Yeah. It'll stain the crap out of your hands too.
But
So is Market Esoterra the only one that's growing these right now?
that I know of.
The area?
They're just really good. The Chiyogas are pretty, but they're probably like the worst offender of the dirt flavor.
Oh, really?
pink and
Yeah.
white striped ones.
They look like candy canes almost.
Yeah, but
They're really pretty though.
we're just thin slicing these. And we're going to just, you could cut it in half if you have like a mandolin and thin shave these if you wanted in like half moons, or if they're smaller like this, just moon. I'm going to julienne these, or like just make really small.
Now with this, like, everybody might not have beets. Like, what other vegetables could people be maybe mixing in here?
Yeah,
in place of
everything.
the beets?
Everything I was talking about. Just turnips. You could have pole beans. You could have.
Well, if I had something like turnips, would I be doing the same thing that you're doing with the beets right now, and
Yeah.
like julienning them, or
Sure. They're great. Turnips are really tender. So you could even like quarter them or make bigger chunks out of them. Herb-wise, mint, basil, tarragon, dill here. You could do some parsley if you have it. I mean, really, anything growing right now would be good in this. Zucchini.
would you do zucchini raw in this, or would you like cook it or blanch it?
I mean, if you were going to do zucchini, I might lightly roast it a touch, but
Still keep most of its texture.
yeah,
What if you have something like the costata romanesco?
same.
Romanesco costata, however you say that.
They're great.
Because I know they have like a little more firmness to their body
They
style.
just hold up a little better in cooking. But yeah, lightly cooked on like zucchinis and stuff is still great in this. So we're going to toss it all together. Little vinegar, a little olive oil. And you could also just do this on a grater if you wanted to kind of grate it in and almost like...
I've seen those peelers too that do like the julienne peel.
Yeah, the julienne peelers, if you have one of those.
I think OXO has a set. Not to distract you from what you're doing, but your water's boiling.
Oh, cool. All right. So let's I want to work some salt into these. This is going to be one of those that should be kind of like ocean salty.
So lots and lots of salt.
Yeah. Cool. So favas are in the boiling water. We're just going to let those, they're really fat. We're going to let those go for probably 2-3 minutes total.
So I just saw you like kind of go from slicing rounds to like flipping that on its side. Is that just a way to not chop your fingers off while you're trying to julienne something?
This is safety for slabbing it out. You can
Yeah.
only...
Just trying to learn all your tips and tricks over here.
It's good.
What's good?
It's a beet. The beets.
Yeah, that really simple cucumber salad you made with these the other night was great. You just did like a little julienne with the peeled cucumbers, tossed in a little vinegar and oil, and
Yeah.
a little pinch of salt. I mean, it was the most basic thing in the world, but it was so good. Everything's just so fresh.
Dude, it's this time of year I could eat cucumber salads every day.
Well, you usually see like some of the salt and pepper cukes at the market, don't you?
Yeah, of course. That's a
Kind of
common varietal.
Yeah.
The Persian ones are really good. You know, they still have really thin skins. The pickling ones, I mean, they're good, but you have to peel them. They just get so tough. Uh-oh. The color on this is going to be cool.
Yeah, wow, you're gonna have a lot of different colors. The green and the red from the cherries, and then the bright orange.
Yeah. Let's see. Fava's, what did I need?
Well, that probably means then too, since Mark pretty much only sells to restaurants, he's probably selling some Badger Flames to some local restaurants, I would imagine.
Yeah, lots of them.
I would hope. I hope they're taking advantage of those. I certainly would be.
This is the only beet they grow, so. And they have a lot of them right now. All right.
Yeah, Patrick's been going out to Esoterra on Mondays and cooking for all the staff out there, all the farm staff, so they can kind of get a feel for, you know, what everything tastes like that they're going through and growing. How a chef might utilize what they're doing, kind of bring up that whole full circle. Yeah, those things are kind of scary.
This is not. There we go. This is that peeler that can do it for you to make root veggies a little easier. But
I mean, it won't be as pretty as your hand cut, but
they're still pretty nice.
they're still pretty good.
Anyway,
If you don't want to go through the trouble, there's tools to help.
yeah.
Can you show me the peeler?
Yeah. I mean, it's got little teeth on it. They probably make better ones than this one, but
It came with a set.
yeah. So,
What are we looking for in the peas to know when they're done?
peas are different than these.
Or fava beans?
These, just want to make sure that's what I mean by favas. So on these, we're going to peel them a second time and pop the top. Then you get this nice little final product there, which goes right in. Cool.
So how do you know when to pull them? That's my
2-3
question.
minutes is fine.
Do you see like the skin starting to look like a little more translucent on the outside or
No.
something? No? Okay.
Nope.
So they look almost exactly like when you put them in?
Yeah, you just so once they're chilled, the skins are going to get a little wrinkly.
Okay.
Like once we pull them and then,
So we're straining these in a colander and then you're going to run them under water?
yeah, I'm going to do cold water. You'll see them here. So, now that we're getting chilled, like you hit them with that cold water, you see that wrinkle on there?
Yeah. Let me zoom in. Will you hold your hand back out?
So they look kind of like, they could start getting pruny. I don't know. If that
Okay.
makes sense or not, but they shrivel a little, the skins will. Doesn't take too long now. That just means we can get the only reason we have to do that is to get this, to get them peeled, because otherwise you're not getting that skin off.
So you just like tear kind of like a little tiny hole in it?
Yeah, where the butt is on the top.
Yeah.
Use your
You
thumb,
just like pinch it kind of
pinch it open, boom.
when it squeezes right out.
Yep. If you were to do that raw, no way.
Elliot said that he only blanched his favas for like a minute. It's the extra 1 to 2 minutes a huge deal. He said they taste good.
Cool.
Then they're fine.
Dude, yeah.
Okay. You got the chef's approval.
I'm just trying to guarantee the skins are loosened up.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to chew on those skins. They're really fibrous.
Yeah, as long as your beans are popping out of these secondary peeling, you're good to go. I just know sometimes, especially if you're doing big batches, the 1 minute wasn't quite enough, so but yeah, we're just moving along.
So I noticed you got some melons on the counter behind you.
Oh yeah.
You want to tell me about those?
Yeah, they're the best of the best. French varietal from Rancho Durazno, Farmer John.
Not to derail you, but can you bring one over to show everyone?
Yeah. It's just something that they started last week popping up. And
They're the best cantaloupe
The-
on the planet.
aroma, the sweetness, impossible to be better than that. Could
Yeah.
be as good.
They smell so good that like
But-
you could step outside the front door and come back in and like the whole house smells like them. They're insanely fragrant
Yeah.
and they're so sweet and they're so orange inside. They're just perfect.
Yeah.
It's better than any cantaloupe. I've never been excited about cantaloupe in my
Yeah,
life
they're this
until I had
color.
these.
They're this dark orange on the
Yeah.
inside.
I usually like to leave them out on the counter for a day or two to soften up a little bit.
That might be a fun dish. Badger flames and these cantaloupes,
Yeah,
all orange.
get some prosciutto or something for it.
Prosciutto.
That was our little treat yesterday. We cut one open. It was still a little bit crunchy, but it was super sweet.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
got a package of prosciutto open, and yeah, simple, simple pleasures of summer.
Right. Yeah, these are a little work, but
It's not terrible.
you know, when you're just doing this for yourself at home, it's not bad. I mean, it would get bad at the restaurant when we sell 50 fava dishes in a night, and then
Got to come back in and do it again the next day.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a labor of love,
yeah,
especially when you pair them with cherries.
dude. It's worth it though. It's worth it. So
I'm guessing this is about the time Rufus is going to need water now.
I can't tell if he just ate his whole chewy.
I don't think there's any way he could have just gotten that whole thing down.
Get down.
He said he wants one of your fava beans.
He won't eat it. Anyway, I'll finish shucking these. We'll finish slicing up some veggies. We'll cut up some herbs. Olive oil. I think the best with this would be like a white balsamic. If you have it like readily available at stores, a white balsamic. If you have a regular balsamic that's aged, cider vinegar is good. It's just going to be a little stronger than those two. So you want to use splash. Or you could do, let's see, when we're plating, you could do a little drizzle of like local honey if you wanted. Would also be nice.
That'd be awesome.
So,
Yeah, what are you using today?
for what?
For your vinegar? We don't have any of the balsamic you were talking about, so.
No, I'm gonna have honey vinegar.
Actually, and if you were in one of our clubs, you probably have some from Christmas.
Oh, they got them as a Christmas gift? Cool. Sweet. Yeah, this is a fun, time-consuming project for sure. What else? I mean, what, peppers coming out soon, eggplant. I don't know, the best time of year is nightshades. Field tomatoes. Oh, man. Cool.
Actually, yeah, nectarines I think will probably be towards like maybe
Nectarines,
another week
man.
or two. All the stone fruit was super early this year.
It's fine by me.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready for all of it. I've been enjoying going to do the You Pick raspberries over at Olin Farms too. That's been fun. We actually got a good haul the other day, so we're gonna have all the raspberry things happening here soon.
Yeah. Right.
I totally understand though after picking them why they don't pick them themselves. It definitely takes a while to go hunting for all those berries, and then they're so delicate they don't last more than a day or two, so kind of got to get them and use them.
Yeah. I don't know how Maryland did it.
I don't either.
Squeak and squawk. You
Yeah.
know? But
Well, I did notice that, what's it called? Rough and Ready had some this weekend too. They had a few pints out there. Or half pints? I don't
They
even know
were
what
tiny,
they had.
dude.
It was,
Half
yeah, it was not a
pints.
lot. Said it's pretty labor intensive and
yeah.
getting stuck with stickers and
All right. Cool. We'll get these out of the way. We'll finish slicing up some beets. Then what? Might be a short one. That's
Yeah.
okay.
it's a cold meal.
That's okay. Yeah, if you're cooking up chicken, I would start it. If you're putting some on your food, just get it seared up, grilled up. Even if you did some barbecue chicken or something on this.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, like, you know, summertime it gets hot. Even with air conditioning in the house, it still kind of sucks to have the stove on a lot. Like, it warms up the whole house. So this is really nice. And, like, this is pretty quick. Like, other than chopping a few things, like, this was not super complicated, and it's going to be really good.
Yeah. It's really just showcasing all the fresh, all the veggies.
Well, after, like, kind of committing to eating a very seasonal lifestyle, like, this time of year gets very exciting. After months of, like, not really having much other than roots and grains and meat.
Well, at least you have fruit to add to the roots.
Yeah. Well, and then, like, I feel like I just need to can and preserve every little thing that I possibly can this time of year so that, like, when it's depressing and it's winter, it can taste a little bit of summertime again.
Cool. So, basil. What I love to do is just take. Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, and yesterday when we got back from the market, I made sure that I didn't put the basil in the fridge. Just because it doesn't like the cold very much, and sometimes putting it in the fridge can make it go bad faster. So it's something you probably want to store on the counter, preferably like in a bag.
But it needs to be in a bag.
Or you can store it like you
But
would
it
like
still
a
needs
bouquet
to
of flowers.
Still needs to breathe a little. So I made a big pile. I call this just dicing my basil. Just really like to. It's an easy way to just.
You might put in your bowl on the cutting board.
We could also just tear it, but it takes a little longer. But just like the.
Not achieves the same basic technique anyway. Yeah, that basil smells insane.
Very, very fresh.
Yeah. Well, you just got all of that at the market yesterday too, so.
Yeah. I was eating cinnamon basil in the field on Thursday.
Cinnamon basil is so amazing.
It tastes like cinnamon.
It really does. It's crazy.
We also have some lemon basil out there.
I like Thai basil too, but it's like a little more peppery and slightly spicy
Oh,
almost.
so I did dill, basil, just a bunch of herbs in there. Put as much or as little as you want. Onion, you probably don't want any onion, right, or shallot?
I personally don't prefer them raw and things.
Well,
I just don't digest them well. And
cool. So we're going to do good olive oil.
oh, that was a nice glug of olive oil.
Oh, yeah. Love olive oil.
Now, this is like one of those situations where if you do have a really nice olive oil, like you probably want to
Salt.
use that one, right?
I've got this honey vinegar.
Yeah, you want to tell me about Lindera Farms a little bit? They're
Yeah.
super cool.
Cool farm. Not local, but just cool. Out in Virginia.
They do a lot of wild crafted vinegars.
And they are just like a farm, and then they use what's on their property to just make all these vinegars. So
Can you show me the bottle?
just a cool place. I don't know really anybody who's doing quite that, but we're just mixing this. We hit it with the salt. Lots of nice veg. Always taste. Just give it a whirl.
Yeah, don't they do like a lot of foraging too?
Anything on their property, whether they grow it
Or it grows there?
or find it.
Yeah. Yeah, they do stuff like ramps and
So I want it to
all
be,
kinds of stuff.
what I'm looking for is a balance of acidity and sweetness and everything. So I'm just going to add vinegar until it's to the liking.
And I didn't realize there was so much vinegar in this, so I think that Sancerre that we were talking about earlier might just be perfect with this.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm tasting mostly the beet. I just want to make sure there's enough brightness to kind of I don't know, just helps what, make it entertaining for your taste buds. And then when you put the cheese on, it's going to calm everything down a little bit.
Oh yeah, I get that little creamy bite in there with everything.
Yeah. So
You want to tell me about this burrata that you got over there?
oh, it's just this beautiful ball. It's mozzarella on the outside, stracciatella. Stracciatella, they just use diced mozzarella and heavy cream to make stracciatella.
So it's like this creamy,
It's on the inside.
gooey, kind of
And,
almost cottage cheesy sort of center.
Yeah, it's super similar to cottage cheese, at least in texture. It's the flavor profile is definitely cottage cheese is like bacterial. What's it called?
Coagulation.
Yeah. So, what I want to do here is make sure we want to get everything.
Can you move some of your fortress for me?
Fortress. Just got herbs and food and all the stuff here. Cool. Yeah, as much or as little as you want. I'm gonna eat this like crazy, so.
Yeah. You can make big bowls there. I think both of us will be very happy with that.
Yeah.
Elliot
Cool.
was asking if we ever got Colorado porcini mushrooms.
I did not go forage any. But sometimes, you know, it's a tough one in this state because you can get, well, you might know, but, you know, true certified foragers around here to make sure everybody knows what they're doing and they're doing a good job. It's hard to come by because to get your foraging license,
Yeah.
you have to know somebody that has one. So
Well, it's kind of important to get that right.
it is.
You know, you don't want to accidentally get one that
But I have
is
had
toxic.
I have had Colorado porcinis. I have not had any this year.
Did we ever have them at the restaurant?
No, because I didn't trust the people that tried to sell them to me.
Oh, that's fair.
So, let's see. Where did I put the olive oil? Way over there.
I moved it out of
So,
the shot because you were
Um,
blocking my
I love
view
olive
again.
oil, so I say a little more on the cheese. And then I'm gonna take some of this finishing salt.
Some nice flaky Malden.
Yeah. But sweet. There it is. It's pretty awesome.
Dinner in 45 minutes. Look at that, start to finish.
So I guess, because we need to give this
Because
a
I know you're
whirl.
so terribly sad about tasting this right now.
Yeah. So with the cheese and everything. It's so good. It's like, oh, dude. So great. This time of year, all the veg. Everything's perfect. So yeah, provided for us. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's one of my favorite ways to eat vegetables with cheese.
Yeah, why not? Any excuse to put cheese on anything.
Yeah, so, you know, please like, subscribe, help us get this valuable information out to people to help them make use of what's happening
I mean, yeah,
at your doorstep.
better food at home, right? Like, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, and then you're super spoiled when you try to go out to eat.
I'll ruin it for you, but
You're just like, wow, definitely could have done better at home, but
yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, making good food doesn't have to be complicated. You can do it with minimal ingredients just as long as they're good ones and you do it right. And that's what we're here to try and help everybody see and hopefully enjoy.
yeah. Yeah, so please enjoy your weekends.
Yes.
We'll be back with something cool next weekend, of course, and we'll have
Yes.
our our favorite coffee roaster will be here to talk about coffee,
Chris
which
over at
will-
Nimbus.
which will be a good time for everybody.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. Well, till next time.
We'll see you later, guys.
Yeah.